Joining us live now is Babajide Akeredolu, his chairman, Progressives Youth Stakeholders. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, what really are these new campaign strategies that your group is deploying?
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I think for us, especially in Ondo State, we are, I think for us, it's been tied to how we can mobilize the youth in a very different way, especially the young women. There's been a lot of emphasis on a lot of neglect of what you consider the largest voting bloc. And we as the youth in the state, we've been on top of finding new, interesting ways to engage a lot of young people within Ondo states to try to drive adoption and try to drive participation in partisan politics. I mean, we're one of the very, I guess, quite a number of states you'd say are very voter conscious, but I think Ondo State is one of the states that's very educated when it comes to politicking and politics. But we believe that there's an opportunity to catch a lot of undecided voters by reaching out to groups that are typically neglected, but everybody knows are critical to the success of any election.
All right, then. Well, where exactly do you think people, especially young people, should queue behind the APC presidential candidate?
For us, and we get this question every time, and for a lot of us, it's been around the whole idea of having somebody that has best interest at heart, specifically around his ability to find the right people in the right places. I think historically, we've always known our presidential candidate, Tinubu, as someone that is not particular about your age. If you can execute, you can execute. And we've been able to try to let a lot of young people know that, look, rally around him. He will pick the best and the brightest. Many of us are young, and he's going to put us in the right places to succeed. And most importantly, to help Nigeria develop. We're going through a lot as a country, and we need the best and brightest minds to help with helping the country. And we believe having someone like Tinubu who will pick the right set of people, who many of us are young and bright.
I understand you. All right, but I know there are concerns that a number of young people are yet to pick up their PVCs. And as you know, the PVC is your right to vote. What are you doing to encourage people to go out there and collect their permanent voter cards?
Beyond like in our state, for example, I know in the whole Southwest, I'm sure you're aware, the APC states, we had declared a public holiday at some point to really drive PVC adoption. Amongst other things, in our case, we just had a meeting with all the youth leaders in every ward in the states to start to drive the adoption, or at least to start to galvanize the youth base to go and pick up their PVCs. It's something that's been ongoing. It's a strategy that we know has worked because it worked to a large extent when we were mobilizing for registration for the party. And then we know that if we still replicate that approach or that strategy, we can really push to get more people to pick up their PVCs, because whether we like it or not, a lot of PVC collection is a grassroots affair. It's something that, if you don't have the right people or the right structure in place to really drive that level of adoption or drive the interest, if people don't see people they're familiar with, to say, okay, this is someone I know that's really pushing me, then you might have some significantly low adoptions. But for us, really pushing that grassroots drive, especially within the party, and leveraging the structures in place, we believe that we can definitely improve adoption across the state.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Chairman, Progressives Youth Stakeholders, Babajide Akeredolu. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Take care.